If you're not watching playoff basketball using Sling TV, you're doing it all wrong. Because with Sling TV, you get every playoff game for the best price, hands down. Sling is the MVP for all your favorite live sports, news, and entertainment, and you'll never get locked into a long-term contract. I love that. While the other guys charge you more for less, with Sling, you can watch all the sports you love, including every playoff basketball game for the best price. Customize your channel lineup with all-star channels like TNT, TBS, True TV, ESPN, USA Network, and more. Plus, you can stream the games anywhere, so you never miss another play. Watch on your favorite devices, including your phone, computer, tablet, and smart TV. You can also watch anytime you want, with 50 hours of DVR storage included. Sling is easy to set up and easy to use. Check out sling.com for special offers. Be confident you're getting all the playoff basketball you love for the price you'll love. Try us today.
No! What are you doing? Beans! What are you doing? Oh my god! You can't do this! Beans! Idiot!
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Wednesday, April 27th. We're here in the Classic Factory. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Heyo!
Heyo! The international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis. I can't even get your name out before you're dropping a friend.
I'm ready to go, man. I'm still pumped from Ja's dunk, man.
Oh, and finally making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are.
Oh, even JD's fucking pumped this morning.
YouTube's working here today,
right,
so that's great.
Right.
I think JD's getting a 10 out of 10 on the hello rating.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was big time.
It really puts steam in your stride when everything works. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
I've just jinxed it, though, so we'll see how it goes.
Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Take a second, like the video if you haven't done that. Subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube if you haven't done that. Comment away in the stream team if you haven't done that. And just share the show, okay? Later. Right now, focus on the show and then share it later. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Keep your cues coming. Got a couple series wrapping up now. That's going to open up some room here in the B block on the show as we move forward. So we'll get to beach stepping soon enough. And if you haven't already, check out yesterday's edition of No Breaks. Trey Kirby and Graydon Gordian talking about that race in Italy. That was fun and great insight, of course, from Graydon. Really knows his stuff when it comes to F1. But I really enjoyed, because I listened to it later, the talk about which team principal you would want to sit by at a dinner. That was my favorite breakdown.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that was our best episode yet. It was just me saying it to Graydon, but you know that counts. Half the people, a third of the people on the show at least. But yeah, we were having fun. They had a great picture of all the team principals having dinner there at Imola. Keep Christian Horner on one side, Toto Wolff on the other. I was disappointed to see no pumpernickel toast from Toto, but it was a dinner, I assume, not a brunch. Who are you sitting by, though? Who do you want to sit with?
That's interesting. Gunther.
Gunther, yeah. He's the top draft choice.
For sure. The drinks are going to fly. You're you don't need to worry about the rest of the table because you're just going to have hilarious conversation with him.
Totally.
Maybe laughing. Yeah, that's the answer. That's the correct answer. But anyway, check out that podcast. It was your best one so far.
Nice. Thanks,
man. It's really good. You guys are finding your stride there. All right, let's get into the playoff games from last night. We'll start in the Western Conference. Later, we'll talk about the Heat defeating the Hawks and what the Hawks are going to do in the offseason, and maybe who the Heat would rather see in the second round, be it the Sixers or the Raptors. But always start with Ja Morant's last-second layup. Late-game heroics to give the Grizzlies the 3-2 series lead over the Wolves. Trey, my man, what do you got?
I've been trying to decide how to rate this game.
Okay.
This was a game. No. This was a real game of basketball?
Closer.
Not always.
No.
Yeah.
So I came up with a new level, because for about 3 quarters, this is a game of basketball?
Yeah, good one.
Through 3 quarters, Memphis had 14 turnovers. Minnesota had 19 turnovers. Minnesota was shooting the ball well, but Memphis was about 40% and just 3 of 21 from 3. Slop them up. That was a dangerous night through 3 quarters, but at the end of that third quarter, Ja Morant threw down, no exaggeration, one of the all-time great dunks in NBA history. I think it's going to go a memorable one along the lines of a Tom Chambers, along the lines of, I don't know, who else is a big-time dunk? It's like if LeBron would have landed that dunk against Draymond in Game 7, 2016. I can't believe how far he pulled it back.
Yeah.
The guy can't palm the ball. That's wild, man.
He's got to cup it.
Yeah, he's got to cup it. Great stuff. And that turned out to be the turning point because in the fourth quarter, this was a real game of basketball, no doubt. 18 in the fourth for Ja, a major refuse-to-lose moment for him. Hit his first three of the game as well, a monster shot with about a minute left, put the Grizz up 1. That was their first lead since the first quarter. Then on the other end, Anthony Edwards hits his own monster 3 to tie things up with about 3 seconds left. Awesome play.
Oh, great play call, great pass from McLaughlin.
Perfect execution.
That was sick.
That was perfect. And, the confidence from Anthony Edwards, no problem. It's like, that could have been game 1. That could have been game 58, but it was no. It was 3 seconds left. Let me tie this up. That was incredible. But then, back on the other end, the Grizzlies run a nice little sideline out of bounds play. Anthony Edwards makes a bad gamble. Makes a bad gamble.
Goes to the high side of the pass.
Yes, and there was not much at the rim. There was a little bit, but Ja catches it, takes a dribble, finishes with the slick lefty layup at the rim for a pivotal W. Timberwolves probably should have won this game.
Yeah.
They should probably have already won this series, but now we're heading back to Minnesota for an elimination game. That's kind of the basics of what happened. There is a lot to talk about, I feel like, in this game.
There absolutely is, and Ja Morant gets the flowers. He had an incredible fourth quarter, the game-winning layup, the dunk, but Brandon Clarke was my MVP of this game.
100%. They don't win this game without him.
Brandon Clarke had 9 offensive rebounds last night. He went 9 for 14, had 21 points, finished with 15 rebounds in total, and the amount of times in that fourth quarter he batted the ball back to the Ja Morant 3.
Yeah, Tyson Chandler style.
Exactly, yeah. He is a pogo stick out there on the court, just bouncing around all over the place, and it was his contests and his battling and scrapping in that fourth quarter that just kept the Grizzlies with another shot, another chance, and then Ja goes out there and drops a hammer on them. So this was not a great game for 3 quarters. Neither team sort of knew how to take control. Yeah. They were both kind of like young teams, like we should win this and take the series in our favor. They couldn't quite do it.
They looked like immature teams.
They did, totally. For sure. And then Karl Anthony Towns, he was asking for it. He was asking for the basketball gods to curse him last night. He hits a 3.
That's an early shush.
He throws the shush.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
An early shush.
He hit another big one late.
He did, and he had a nice pass as well in transition.
I thought he's not the reason.
No, he's not. But I was like, that is going to hurt him if they lose this game. They shouldn't have lost this game, though. They should not have lost. Minnesota outplayed Memphis again, which is probably the 3rd or 4th game in this series where they've had control of the game. Yep. Weren't able to close it out despite the incredible play there from Chris Finch to get that look from Anthony Edwards. But the Timberwolves are going to be looking at themselves and thinking, we blew a really good chance to go home with a chance to close this series.
Yeah, because it's not like, the Grizzlies had an incredible game like you guys are breaking down here. They only shot 41.5% from the floor. They went 7 of 28 from deep. They missed 13 free throws. This was a huge part. Yeah. Morant attacking in the fourth, sort of relentless going at the rim. Got to the line a lot, got a lot of foul calls. I thought there was one that was maybe a little questionable, but he then hit 9 of 10. He hit them when it actually counted because he misses a couple of those and they probably don't pull this out. But yeah, what an insane game. What an insane series. I mean, it sure feels like it's going to go to 7 games just because it's got that air of I don't know, these teams are wild.
Yeah, exactly. Neither team is playing well enough to seize the upper hand for an entire game. It even feels like every game is a toss-up from half to half. Really, it's kind of like the Timberwolves just can't get out of their way. They just keep making mistake after mistake, which you can tell that they're just a young team trying to figure out how to win in the playoffs. Whereas the Grizzlies maybe just don't have the perfect setup for postseason basketball. Through 3 quarters, it was basically Ja Morant was just flinging himself into the lane, hoping to draw a foul call. That's kind of what happened in the fourth quarter as well. But there was a little bit change in mindset, I think. He went for that dunk, nailed it at the end of the third quarter. Then he came out in the beginning of the fourth quarter and tried another one. He was like, you know what? I'm not getting the free throws, so I'm just going to go and try and dunk everything. And that little extra bit of burst, I think, was really the difference for him to start drawing some fouls. And like you're saying, Brandon Clarke was crazy. 7 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. Talk about a prorated beef. 10 boards in the fourth quarter. He was everywhere. That gets you a whole bunch of extra possessions, which is something the Grizzlies need because they're just not a great half-court offensive team.
And Jaren Jackson fouled out of this one as well.
What?
No, he's the Dylan Brooks. him and Dylan Brooks just love fouling. And obviously Steven Adams has been a non-factor as well. But there was also the play with about 12 seconds to go. D'Angelo Russell has the ball. They're down 1. Now, people are saying, why did he do it? I understand that. But my bigger point is, why is Karl Anthony Towns standing in no man's land on the side? He's got to be there and say, all right, give me this. We've done this a lot this season. I'm going to go and get the ball. Instead, he's like, go for it, D'Angelo. Yeah. He's too passive. So it was a bad shot. Fine, from D'Angelo Russell, but it was a lack of aggression from Towns to be like, I've got to go and post up. There was enough time. He could see the play unfolding there. Instead, he was completely out of it and didn't want to be.
It's a bit of the chicken and the egg here, though, with these two, right? In end-game situations, because on one hand, you would love your point guard
right,
to make the right decision and say, yeah, let's get the ball to our All-NBA guy.
Right.
The flip side of that is you would like your All-NBA guy to go and get the ball and demand it if maybe you have a playmaker that wants to take that shot. And D'Angelo Russell was really bad in this one. He's been really bad in this series after having an incredible regular season against this same team where he was averaging like 30 points per game. He's been really bad.
He has. He started off okay, I would say, last night.
It's gotten it was bad near the end.
But honestly, for me, this is more
because he bricked that shot. Sorry,
yeah, no, he did. He
close.
Did. But again, Towns was nowhere near it.
No, I know, and so
that is again, that's on Towns to be like in the moment. All right, I've got to make sure I touch the ball. I'm in the play. I'm contesting. I'm going up for the second chance opportunity. And he wasn't there. So that's, again, a team without a leader that really understands the moment. Because can you imagine a Giannis situation like that where, he's like, I'm just going to stand out in the corner? He wouldn't do that. Maybe he doesn't take the shot because he's got a Middleton and Drew Holiday. Of course. But he's in there like, right, well, I'm getting the rebound. I'm going to be involved. And Towns has to learn that because... again, they're down now. They're down in the series and likely going to lose, whether it's in 6 or 7.
I was actually a little shocked just back to the game-winning layup from Ja Morant. Towns throws up like a 70-foot heave at the buzzer with they had 1 second left. Timeouts, of course. But that he did take it. Like, I think Bane is right there. It's Vanderbilt like playing it as well as you sort of can. He makes it difficult on Ja Morant, and I was like... I was shocked almost that he didn't do the little dump-off pass because Vanderbilt's thinking shoot, but just what a unbelievable acrobatic left-hand finish. Like, I don't want to gloss over the actual finish. I thought it was pretty damn good, but we're all like hyped up on the dunks and the dunk attempts, and I get all that, the big three, because he hadn't hit many threes in this series, but just an incredible finish. I was just like, wow. Most people are probably well, he's jumping, and I don't think pass it off.
I don't.
Not Ja Morant though. No.
No, I mean, if you see Vanderbilt at the rim, who cares? Honestly, if you're Ja Morant, that guy's not a rim protector. That guy's not a real center. So I think that's an easy shot for Ja. But he had also missed a bunch of left-handed layups earlier in this game. Getting up with basically the same sort of English and just rolling off the rim. So the confidence to try and finish, I think, is actually more impressive to me rather than just try to draw the foul and then win it at the line. Make the shot because it's awesome.
And then what did you think about the celebration? He got on the got on the call. Yeah, exactly. Man, there was a lot of hilarious things. We had. Well, go ahead. I know what you're going to say.
Usher and T. Morant.
We had 2 ushers in the building.
Oh, man. But T took his glasses off. He's got to put them back on because then...
I agree.
Totally.
You cannot tell them apart.
That's true. It's a pretty good impersonation when he's got the glasses on.
Yeah.
When he had them off, I'm with you. He doesn't actually look anything like him.
No. But that's so cool seeing them courtside.
So we had dueling ushers. We had dueling 2 smalls. I mean, you're getting on Cat for maybe the shush a little prematurely. What about Beverly dropping 2 small, and then Morant scores right on him on the other end, drops it on him, and I think this is what Morant went on his giant run here too.
Yeah, well, that's Patrick Beverly, though. Because he got way too close to the ref as well at one point, like right in his face. I'm like, you're going to get ejected for just being stupid over trying to contest the call. But we also had Patrick Beverly take the foul, acknowledge it in transition,
and then flex.
And then I don't remember seeing anyone.
I swear you tweeted that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was like, I think he's already done that before.
Well, okay.
I remember him taking a foul once and then flexing because he's like, I'm strong. I wrapped him up.
A few people were sort of saying Alvarado's done stuff, but not from a foul, and then he's like caused a turnover and things like that. But man, Patrick Beverly's a funny old guy, isn't he? You just can't take your eyes off him. But
well, they missed him when he fouled out. Let's be honest. I mean, I thought that was a rough 6th call. That was the one where Ja slipped.
Yeah.
And then Beverly's going for the old charge and bang, bang.
If you fall.
there'll be a call.
Yeah.
That rang true in a lot of these games last night. But what do you think of the chances for Minnesota here to either push this to 7 or to win this series still?
They're still alive. Yeah, because I don't really know. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced Memphis know how to close it out, certainly in Minnesota. And then if they get back to Memphis, well, Minnesota has won already once here, and they should have won twice. So it should be 7 games. I hope it's 7 games, and it could come down to something crazy like this, because the Wolves have played well enough at times. I mean, if you were to look at the balance of the 5 games, they've probably outplayed Memphis for most of that.
Yeah.
But they just haven't been able to finish it off. And that is the sign of a team that is inexperienced and hasn't been in these situations before. Because last night, they should have closed it out. They should have just made it safe, but they weren't able to, and then they panicked. But then Finchie also drew up just an incredible play that was perfectly executed by his team. So, and if you look at that as well, there's a back screen set. I'm not sure exactly who sets it there. It may have been McDaniels to get Edwards just a glimmer of hope. Because the defender still came out on him too. So the Grizzlies actually defended as well as they could. Great shot though by Edwards.
Yeah, and good. I want to give Dylan Brooks some credit on the inbounds pass. I mean, putting it on the right side where sometimes that pass is going to be thrown where Edwards actually would get the steal and pop that loose. But man, if
maybe
Edwards,
he should stick to passing.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks. Yeah, I know. Well, that's Brooks. That's the Brooks experience. I mean, there's the Beverly experience, there's the Brooks experience. But man, what happins if Edwards doesn't gamble for that? There's not a lot of time. Ja's probably taking a jumper. He gets the ball and then probably operates around there. Maybe he tacks, maybe puts pressure on the refs to call another foul, or who knows. But it's likely going to overtime, I guess. But wow.
He said he had his mind made up. He said, I'm going for the steal.
Yeah.
That was a mistake, and I'm going to learn from it. Because, I mean, a tie game, make him make a shot over you. That's the only way to get beat, especially with the way they ran the play, and it leaves nobody in the lane.
Yeah.
And Ja wants to be in the lane. He led the league in scoring in the paint this year. Just a little bit of a botch by Anthony Edwards for sure. But man, what a game. This is crazy. Like, at this point, we're almost completely forgetting that Desmond Bane and Chris Finch were like pushing each other on the sideline for no reason. You're like, Desmond Bane suddenly turning into Patrick Beverly out there. Tons of weird stuff. I thought there was also one other celebrity in the crowd. I know T. Morant
was
brought
Cat
Usher.
Williams there?
That's what it was. That's what it was. I was like, why did they bring everybody to Memphis for this? That was very funny. You have to bring anybody whose name or look is sort of similar to you. Just bring him to the game. Why not?
So, okay, does that mean, was it Nate Jones pointed out that Desmond Bane looks like the guy that took on Fresh Prince in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I think was his name Marcus Stokes? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, since Nate said that, I'm like, I can't not see that guy.
Bring him.
Find him. Yeah, get him to
show up.
Get him to game 6 or probably game 7 where this goes. Any other thoughts on Grizzlies Wolves? It's living up to the hype here.
It sure is, and it's great. And one of these teams, it's crazy to think, is going to go round into the second round here and
get smoked by the Warriors.
Well, most likely, yes.
Probably.
I mean, at least for the Grizzlies, they'll have home court. They'll feel good.
That's
but
true.
Yes, the way the Warriors are playing, they're going to be the heavy favorite for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on then to the other Western Conference game last night. Mikal Bridges and Chris Paul lead the Suns past the Pelicans 112-97. They take the 3-2 series lead. What do you got from this one?
Well, Skeetsy, you have often said that you think a tough first-round series is better for a team, especially
100%, Lely.
Especially number 1 seed Phoenix Suns.
For a team that has plans to win a championship, I think it's one of the better things that can happen to you. Like a little rude awakening. Oh yeah, we're into the playoffs. Because generally that team, sorry to interrupt you here, but if they're like the first or second team, that means they've won a ton of regular season games. That might mean at the end of the regular season they took their foot off the gas a little bit and stuff like that. So to sort of get punched in the face by a competitive, let's call it an 8th seed team, I think that works better for a team that wants to win a title. So yes, I 100% agree with that.
And this is great for the Suns because this one, if you look at it, it was a 15-point win, but it wasn't a blowout by any means. The Pelicans were still competitive. Well, I believe it was a wire-to-wire finish, but it was a real test here for the Phoenix Suns, and they came through. And Bridges, you mentioned, was brilliant. He had 31 points. He had 4 blocks. 4 for 4 from downtown. Of his other 8 field goals, pretty much all of those were just running to the rim for dunks and layups and things like that. And Chris Paul was finding him, and he was finishing around. He played 47 minutes, Bridges. He's never missed a game in his NBA career.
Ironman.
Yeah. And he loves it. He's ready to go again, he said. He's ready to play tomorrow night.
Hey, when you call someone an Ironman, by the way, how do you, when we're talking about Mikal Bridges, right? Do you say Ironman in the set? Like, where does your head go? Iron Man Tony Stark? or Ironman
Cal Ripken.
like Cal Ripken? Ironman like the actual event, the Ironman event.
Never
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Never the actual event. I'm going between Tony Stark and Cal Ripken.
Okay, so how are you spelling it with a space or no in Ironman?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay,
I don't think I would, and I would never go with a capital M. So I guess I'm never thinking Tony Stark. I'm thinking it, but I'm discarding it, and then I'm thinking about Cal.
All right,
and those
okay.
baby blue eyes.
Yeah, he's an Iron Man.
I think of AC Green myself, but that's the NBA connection there. But overall, yeah. So really, again,
The vibes are not ejaculate. With
No. Brandon Ingram again, another.
He's got his balls parked in the pouch. Always.
No. Listen. It's all part of the fun because this was a game of basketball, a really good game of basketball. Again, the Pelicans are really impressed with just their resilience and their fight and all those sort of buzzwords there. Ingram was good again last night. Didn't shoot all that well, but he can just get that shot off. And you just feel that next season, if this team does stay together and they get Zion back, they should be good. They should be. I like the pieces they've got there. But for the Phoenix Suns, it was more about, okay, the Pelicans have been really good in this series. You've got to take control right now. Chris Paul was fantastic again last night, 22 and 11.
Did a lot of that work early.
Yes,
in this one.
but Alvarado got him again with the 8-second violation, and Chris Paul, pissed, got a tech foul for it. I went back frame by frame. It was the right call. It was the right call, Chris Paul. He wanted a challenge, but it was like...
That one was close.
Yeah, it was
bang,
close.
Bang,
it was close, but I frame by framed it, so he was right.
For you.
Alvarado was talking smack to the fans, which was great. But the only real concern here is for the Phoenix Suns. Jay Crowder went 1 for 5 last night. For the series, he's 2 for 22 from three.
That's the Richie Benaud series, isn't it? 2 for 22.
Hold on, what?
Yeah, I know what you're thinking, Skeets. How did I know that Richie Benaud says 2 for 22? Isn't this show completely improvised? Not scripted at all?
These guys were talking this one through pregame. You say you say the 2 for 22. I know you say it. Well, you guys killed it. That was flawless. Explain that for anyone that's new to the
Richie
show.
Benaud.
Explain that for me,
Well,
please.
explain who Richie Benaud is.
So Richie Benaud is the who's the Dodgers baseball
Vince Scully.
Yeah, so he's been around for Richie Benaud, no longer with us. He passed away a few years ago, but he was famous for he had that little twang in his voice every time he spoke, and he always used to say "Q for 22." And
So that's Crowder right now.
Yes, that's Jay Crowder from 3 right now. But Jonas Valanciunas is playing a little better. But the funny thing was when Richie passed away in the very first innings after his death, Australia was 2 for 22.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible. Serious, 100% serious. So anyway, I think we've said enough about that, haven't we? Yeah, look, Pelicans, great. Really, really happy for where their season started to where it's ending. And they're not out of it. I mean, they could certainly extend this to 7 games. I think Phoenix, though, flexes their muscles here and says, okay, we know what we have to do. Bridges, when he's like that,
Brian Windhorst was writing this morning, I saw, this was perhaps the best game of Bridges' career when you think about what he did offensively paired with what he did defensively, because the numbers are unreal. I mean, 12 of 17 shooting, okay, 31 points. But then when he's on Ingram, he only shot 1 of 4, and that was the most he's actually played him in this series. Bridges is generally not on Ingram. He's usually on McCollum, who he's made life very difficult in this series. He's only shooting 37%. And last night, 1 of 9 McCollum shot when Bridges was on him. So just like the impact that, he's an all-elite defensive player, but he's going to chip in 30 points, hit a bunch of threes.
That was super nice. And he's got the low strips going on Brandon Ingram, which I think is super impressive. Ingram brings the ball up, he just stick it out there just like that. But I thought Phoenix was completely locked in on this one. Maybe getting hit in the face a little bit. They said, we got to up our level. Held New Orleans to 40% from the field. They had 15 turnovers and 14 assists. The Pelicans are a offense-first team. And if you don't have your offense going, you're going to have a tough one. But this had to be frustrating for the Pelicans because I thought it was frustrating for me. I was like in the fourth quarter, all right, Pelicans look like they're making a little bit of a run here. And the Suns had an answer. Yeah. Every single time it'd be like, all right, we get it to 8. Suddenly it's back to 12. And that's just how it was the entire time. So
there is nothing more frustrating if you were a Pelicans fan, like... as obviously, like any time you're watching your team in a big game and they cut it to 8 to 6.
Here we go.
And you're like, here's the run.
Score.
And when you just can't get over that hump, oh my God, it's infuriating. But it's great job by the Suns. Trivia question here from Windhorst, okay? Because I did see this in the same article talking about Bridges. I assume this is playoffs, though he didn't say it. 7 players in history to have a 30-point game with 4 3-pointers and 4 blocks.
Ooh.
Bridges is now on the list.
Okay.
And these are all Hall of Fame players.
LeBron.
Okay.
Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Kobe.
Dwayne
Kobe is one, yes.
Wade.
No Dwayne Wade.
The threes, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Paul George.
No, that's
like
a good
Kawhi?
guess. Kawhi, yes, great. You have 2 more left. One, I will say, is not yet in the Hall of Fame.
But he's...
I guess will be my gut says he eventually goes in, but...
Paul Pierce?
No.
Hall
Paul's
of Famer.
in.
Yeah, Hall of
Chris Bosh?
No.
Also Hall of Famer.
Okay, well, you guys
he already
named
is.
Wade and Bosch. This guy famously took them down once upon a time. 4 blocks maybe for this guy is catching you by surprise.
Danny Green?
No. This guy I'm looking for, a Hall of Fame player. He's in, retired jersey. He's one of the best.
Dunk?
No, but he's a, power forward. No, it's not Kevin.
Dirk.
Dirk! There it is. The 4
Dirk
blocks.
yeah.
And then
Of
final
course,
one.
classic.
Again, well, he's right over my shoulder.
A Sasquatch?
Shaq.
Vince Carter?
Oh.
Vince Carter.
Vince Charter?
Vince Charter. Yeah, that was
crazy, man.
30 point, 4 3-pointers, 4 blocks, same game. And again, it must be playoffs, though Windhorst didn't really say there. But yeah, Bridges on that list now.
Great.
It's one of the greats. There you go.
Yeah.
The only other thing I had in my notes was like Chris Paul coming out, like bouncing back from a brutal game 4, getting back to kicking people in the nuts.
Yeah, he's back, baby.
Yeah, and then when you said it, like that deficit got cut to 8, I think, in the 4th quarter. Pelicans like trying to stick around. Then Chris Paul either scored or assisted on 8 of the 9 Suns points to push the lead right back to double digits. It's like, no, I'll close this out. 22-11, 3 steals, 1 turnover for Chris Paul. So good game after that brutal game 4. And you're right. Look, I counted out the Pelicans when they were 1-12. So I'm not going to count their chances of winning potentially a game 6 and maybe having this thing go 7. But well, who knows? You're going to need another big monster McCollum and Ingram type of game, and then get your defense from your Herb and your Jose Alvarado. We'll see.
Yep, I hope so. I'd like to see it go 7 because it's been fun. It's been a fun series, actually.
It's a good late night series. I'm with you on that. It is entertaining, and the crowds have been great in both places, and there's big plays being made. So
you ever try to close your eyes during the 4th quarter, like during the commercial break? You're like, all right, I'm just gonna. I'll hear when somebody comes back again. I'm sure. And then it's like every time your eyes are so heavy.
Yeah,
it's
you almost have to second screen it. Look at your phone to keep your mind going.
Just set it right on your eyes.
Because I'm with you, man. The commercial, I'll take a quick nap during the commercial.
Get some rest.
Turns into sleep usually.
Yeah, it's bad. I was popping chocolate blueberries like crazy last night. Get my Alvarado energy going.
Oh, wow.
I thought Chris Paul needed a little Alvarado energy because it feels like Jose Alvarado's wearing him out a little bit.
Yeah,
That's why
he's like, I don't even want to bring the ball up anymore.
That's wild stuff to see this from Chris Paul, of all people. But I don't know. He's not going to say a lot of nice things, I don't think, about Jose Alvarado until the series is over.
Yeah.
And then I imagine he's going to praise him. Because Chris Paul has to love this guy.
Yeah.
He has to love the way he's playing.
He waited for him last night, too, for that 8-second. Because he knows he's sneaking in like that. But then he waited for him and said he's not going to do it. And then he did it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It was hilarious.
Just actually, you reminded me last night talking about trying to stay awake and all that. I had pandemonium going on at the end of the Grizzlies-Wolves game and not what was happening on the floor. Luna started puking.
Ugh.
When there was 12 seconds to go. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, Nora's yelling at me to help clean up the puke. And I'm like, the game. What about the game, though? Look at this. This is a pivotal game 5, dog. Don't you know? Yeah,
Come on, dog.
Dogs just puke randomly. I'm telling you, there's no rhyme or reason.
Dogs just puke.
It's so
Very
strange.
true.
She didn't get into anything. Nothing changed from her, day-to-day schedule.
Didn't you get her groomed recently?
Well, she got groomed on Monday, though. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. 24-hour react to the groom? Yeah, maybe. I doubt it, but anyway, it was wild. It made a great, an entertaining game even more crazy.
Yeah, but see, that's where I find it's hard to then just jump straight into the next game as well, because it's like, what a wild ending. You need some calm down time.
Oh,
first.
and you're talking, that broadcast goes from Ja Morant doing this to here we are.
I know, and I'm like,
we're in Phoenix.
Hang on. I gotta just think about what I just saw.
Smoke a cigarette?
Yeah, I do. Oh man, that's crazy stuff.
Well, that's what happens on this show.
Yeah.
We can't jump right now to Heat Hawks.
No.
Let's take a break.
Let's do it.
Let's smoke a cigarette and have a shower, eat a banana or something. We'll be right back. But let's talk about Saks, baby. Not talking about Kenny G. Let's talk about underwear that keeps your balls in the place to be. Let's talk about Saks. That took me 8 hours to come up with that.
Worth it.
Yeah. Saks is obsessed with the comfort of your manhood. They make the most comfortable underwear for men thanks in large part to their patented ballpark pouch. That's fun to say. Ballpark pouch. But Saks does more than just make kick-ass underwear. They also have a wide range of high-performance sport apparel. Let's talk about the 2-in-1.
Saks, baby.
No, yeah, it's catchy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Let's talk about the 2-in-1 sport shorts. These things are legit. I wore them last night. Each style comes with an integrated liner and the
pouch.
What's it called?
Ballpark pouch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
like a
their
ballpoint pen. It's a ballpark pouch.
That's their
I actually
patented
never thought of it
technology that holds your balls in place. The beauty of Saks' 2-in-1 shorts is you don't have to worry about wearing underwear. And you know how money that is down here in Hot Atlanta?
Cool.
Got humid this week.
The less fabric you need on your body, the better. So remove the underwear, wear the 2-in-1 shorts because it's integrated. 4-way stretch shell, breathable mesh liner, ballpark pouch,
Beep.
Yeah.
pockets,
Pocket dogs.
Yeah.
Pocket dog in there.
boom. And then there's Saks' Sport to Life short. This style, it's built to go back and forth, right, between sport and everyday activities. You're in the gym. Now you're grabbing a beer. Now you're back in the gym. Now you're hanging with friends.
Ooh, working out after a few.
Now you're eating a hot dog.
2 days.
Now you're doing bar 3.
Oh, yeah.
You're wearing the same shorts. Here and there, here and there. It doesn't matter. This guy does it all. These shorts are guys.
These shorts are guys. I would agree.
That's better than this.
Well, that's better than this. Ballpark pouch. And you already know everything is backed by Saks' comfort guarantee. That's 100% satisfaction or your money back. Take advantage of our special offer today. Head on over to Saks.com/NoDunks and get 10% off plus free shipping using the promo code NoDunks. That's SAXX.com/NoDunks. Promo code NoDunks for 10% off and free shipping. JD, what do you got, my man?
Yeah, Grammarly, my old friend. Grammarly's free and premium features can save you time and give you the confidence of knowing your writing is professional. Now, me, I'm a lot of things. Professional, I don't really consider myself very professional. It's kind of a side effect of, rolling out of bed in your jammies, coming down to your garage and cranking out a classic with your friends. I mean, is this even a job? I mean, it doesn't really feel like it, but the reality is we work for a massive company, and Grammarly really helps me communicate with our colleagues with clarity, with clarity adjustments, formality level, and my favorite, tone detector. One time, I actually ruined someone's weekend. She told me that because of one of my emails. I don't care for your tone, her email said to me. It's very terse. And I was being terse. In fact, I was being rude, but she must have been using Grammarly because terse really nails it and makes her sound very professional. And Grammarly has a ton of features and helps you save time, strike the right tone, and deliver high-quality work with things like Grammarly Premium's full sentence rewrites, which help you effectively convey your ideas and avoid miscommunication. And of course, I've already mentioned it, Grammarly's free tone detector. You don't even need the premium version for that one, and it ensures your message is never misinterpreted. Get through those emails and your work quicker by keeping it concise, confident, and effective with Grammarly. Go to Grammarly.com/NoDunks to sign up for a free account. And when you're ready to upgrade to Grammarly Premium, get 20% off just for being a No Dunks listener. That's 20% off at GRAMMARLY.com/NoDunks.
Peloton! My old friend.
You said that so weird. Just the word Peloton coming out of your mouth at that level is
Marketing, though, stays in your brain. Oh, it worked.
Peloton.
Exactly, yeah. Peloton is pushing you further with so much new on the Peloton Bike and Peloton Bike Plus. New classes, new music, new ways to keep your workouts fun and motivating. Work out to the music of a single artist for an entire class, from your favourite hits to the deep cuts. For me, that could mean I start with something from, say, Rihanna, Nelly, Kesha, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I'll ease off a little bit as the class wears down. Maybe a little Robbie Williams, a little Mariah Carey, maybe. You know.
Kesha.
Maybe. Kesha, yeah, she's great.
I'm surprised by Kesha for sure.
Yeah, you can't not get into a movement like if you hear Kesha on the radio. You're bopping away. No question about it.
I love a movement. So movement is great.
Movement is key. Look, it's not just my musical taste is pop to rock to hip hop and others. There are over 100 artist series to choose from. Find your favorite music and turn on your next workout into a concert. Peloton has a workout for every goal, day, and mood. De-stress from a long day with 30 minutes of strength and 20 minutes of cardio, or just do a quickie, a 15-minute total body class before work. Stay motivated while having fun with bike workouts, yoga, meditation, dance, cardio, and more. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. That's onepeloton.com.
All right, back here in the Classic Factory, Joseph in the stream team had a theory why my Luna, my dog, got sick last night during that first game on TNT. Poor dog couldn't stomach her fellow Timber Pups' late game execution. Hadn't thought about that. Yeah, she's watching it unfold. Oh, they're going to blow another lead. And
I wouldn't put it, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
The three of us dog havers. Luna is the one that looks the most like a Timberwolf, I would have to say.
Yeah. It takes it
Ours
the
are
hardest.
brown. It takes it the hardest for
You're
sure.
right.
Yams was lethargic last night, no doubt about it, but she didn't throw up.
Every dog takes that loss a little.
Man, not again.
A little bit.
Their best player is named Cat. It's tough on the Timberwolf dog.
Great point. Well, let's talk about the other bird that unfortunately lost last night. The other animal is what I meant to say. Great segue. The Heat hold off the Hawks 97-94. They're going to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Do you call it semifinals or second round?
Second round.
So do I. Okay.
Yeah.
Oladipo getting the start in this one because no Lowry for the Heat, continuing to miss time because of his injury, and then no Jimmy Butler in Game 5 here. It doesn't matter with Miami Heat. They plug Oladipo in there. He scored more points in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter than he had in the 4 games prior in this series. He finished with 23 points on 8 of 16 shooting, so he played well. Max Strus chipping in. He had 15. He had like a little 10-0 run late in the first half. It was a close game, and then it wasn't there. I know the Hawks got back into it, made things a little interesting, but here they are, putting the Hawks to bed in 5. It sort of feels right after watching this one. Now, this was difficult to stomach. I got sick. Luna had to clean up my mess after watching this. And just what the Heat, not only in Game 5, but all series long, did to Trae Young. Like, this guy's going to be having nightmares, I think, like all offseason. 11 points in this one, 2 of 12 shooting, 0 for 5 from deep, 6 turnovers. He finished with more turnovers than made field goals in this series, and 3 of his 4 lowest point totals all season were in this series. And even in a game where Jimmy and Kyle weren't even playing is the crazy part.
Yeah, 11 points in this one, 9 the game before, and 8 in the first game of the season for Trae Young. That's just unheard of for him because he had a game winner in the middle of all that as well. But
this guy averages nearly 30 points per game, and he averaged 15.4.
Yeah, and he was just suffocated by that defense. That's what the Heat play. They're like, all right, we're just going to throw so many bodies at you, and he wasn't able to beat it. Maybe he didn't get a lot of help as well throughout this series because it never really felt like the Hawks were close enough to even seriously compete. But again, I think you sort of break down this series to, honestly, in the second quarters in Game 3, hang on, I can't remember what games they had that 21-0 run. No, Game 2 that was, sorry. Yeah. Then Game 4.
The Heat lost Game 3.
That's right, sorry. Then in Game 4 they had
a huge run, though. Yeah. They had a ton of runs in this series.
Yeah, they had a 28-4 run in the second quarter of Game 2. Then last night, you mentioned the Strus, a 15-0 run. The Hawks just had too many of those moments where it was like the Heat just stretched it out to double digits, and then they do that like, well, now you guys have to come back and get into it. DeAndre Hunter gave them half a chance, but not a real chance.
He was on fire.
Yeah, he was.
Till he fouled out, and that was a brutal call.
Yeah, but even still, it didn't really feel like it was more than sort of fool's gold there for the Hawks. They hadn't done enough in this game, in this series, to compete. But the fact that you can have Oladipo there, he's an insurance policy. Okay, Jimmy's out, Kyle's out, and he comes in, starts, and looks great, scores well. He'll go back to the bench when those other guys come here. But Eric Spoelstra now knows if we get into that situation, get in the playoffs, it's good to know Oladipo's ready and he can go out there and score. He's going to find tougher defenses than what the Hawks throw.
Yeah.
But that's what a playoff team needs, is those veterans just ready to go at a moment's notice here. So pretty impressive overall series here from the Heat. And considering the Hawks, they had a bad start to the season, finished strong, hoping for a bit of a better showing than they put up in this playoff series.
What do you think of this one?
Yeah, to me, Trae just seemed completely frustrated and beaten this one. Like, he was happy to get off the ball when he was and then wouldn't work super hard to get it back. Completely rushed. He hit that side of the glass on a corner three, which was bad. You mentioned more turnovers than made shots for the entire series. Same amount of turnovers as assists for the entire series. 19% from three. It just looked like the Hawks were drawing dead, and especially Trae Young. Like, he gets compared to Steph Curry a ton. He's got to figure out how to get rid of the ball and get back to the ball and hit a shot, because that's really what makes Curry is that he's Steph Curry with the ball and he's Ray Allen without the ball. Whereas with Trae Young, it was kind of like, we'll give it to DeAndre Hunter. Luckily, he had a good game, but with no Bogdanovich out there's nobody else to really make a play for somebody else. You know, like, Hunter wants to shoot first and foremost, for sure. So the Hawks just didn't have enough. They didn't have the defense to stop the Heat, even without their starting backcourt. They didn't have the offense to get going, and if the Hawks aren't playing offense, they're going to have a real tough time.
Yeah, it was almost amazing the Hawks were in this game and had a chance. And mainly it was because of Hunter just sort of going unconscious there. He hit those 2 threes, and then there was the Kongwu and one to keep it close. But then their season ends by not being able to get a shot off. They're down 3. There's still hope. You hit the 3, you go to overtime, whatever. But the Heat trapped Gallinari in the corner. I mean, to put him in that position, you sort of had to let it fly right away, or you were getting absolutely swallowed up.
Didn't they have timeouts left, though, too?
Did they have one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I know Nate
McMillan doesn't like to call timeouts.
No, he does not. Some bad stuff, honestly, from Nate McMillan in the last minute of this game. Not challenging the Hunter foul, I thought was crazy, considering he's the best player they had going last night. Yeah. Wanted to save the timeout, so they ran a play to get the ball into the corner where it was an easy trap. Trae Young is doing nothing on that play. He was like, all right, Gallo, you're good in the corner. See if you can get it up. Could have called a timeout there. Ran a play. They had enough time, I thought. But I don't know. The Hawks just seem to not be interested in executing that last play.
Yeah, Gallinari looked as old as anything as well. Like, because he had a two-pointer as well before that when they needed the 3. And it's like, come on, man, you got to be better than that. So, but the Hawks were just outclassed the whole time in this series. Lucky to get that one win down there last Friday night. You were the good luck,
Thank God they timed it perfectly when I was down there. That was the night to get it. Also, a weird moment in this game. We talked about Bane pushing Finchie there. Markieff Morris got a technical foul for grabbing DeAndre Hunter while Hunter had gone out of bounds in front of the Heat bench, and Markieff Morris, I don't know, jokingly, I guess, maybe taking it a little too far, did the old, grabbed him around the waist, and Hunter then came back on the court, and then the ball went to him, and they called him out of bounds. He's like, I'm out of bounds because he wouldn't let me on. And then they looked at it and like, oh yeah, damn. It took him forever to look at. I don't know why it took forever. They're like, guys, he's holding him. You can see it on the camera here. That's strange. Don't see that one.
No, it isn't. You should get a tech foul for that. You can't be interfering with the players out on the court. I mean, so, it didn't cost them in the end. They survived, but yeah, man, Duncan Robinson, what a weird series for him too, by the way. 8 for 9 in the first game, finishes 13 minutes last night, 0 for 5. Wow. Crazy stuff. But
he'll probably have another huge game in him here in the postseason.
Yeah.
This is oddly, I thought this was strange. First time Miami has ever beat Atlanta in a playoff series. It's only the 3rd time they met. Hawks had won the 2 previous first-round series. Both went to the limit. They won in 5 games in 94. That's got to be, Mookie Blaylock type years?
Yeah.
Right? And then they won in 7 games in 09. So that's got to be Millsap.
Joe Johnson,
years?
probably.
Yeah, Joe Johnson. There you go. Yeah, just thought that was strange. The Heat had never beaten the Hawks until now in a playoff series. I don't know why that was weird. Well, let's talk about the Hawks and what they maybe should or shouldn't do this offseason, because they've handed out a lot of money last season, right? because they go to the conference finals, they're feeling good about their team. You know, returning players getting a lot of money here because of contracts and stuff like that. Trae Young, Capella, John Collins, Kevin Huerter. And, you know, now they sort of fallen back to earth a little bit. They're disappointed. I mean, they get into the playoffs, they get the 8th seed, but they sort of get hammered. And it's interesting to think, like, where do they go from now? Gallinari is the big contract that they'll probably consider, you know, letting go because it's not guaranteed, I guess.
Yeah,
it's like $5 million of whatever guaranteed next year. But they're like flirting with luxury tax and all that because of these contracts that they hand out. What moves do you see the Hawks even being able to make?
Well, the interesting one for me as well, Bogdanovic, because I think he's a very good player, but I keep on waiting for him to be consistent and to be a big time player. And so maybe they move on from him because I think I think Okongwu is probably their future in the middle. I think they move on from although Capella's got they just re-signed him
Big
too.
deal. That kicks in next year, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the thing. It's like they have to make a decision probably right on Collins or Capella, like buy to one of them, and I think you'd be leaning towards maybe they move on from John Collins.
Yeah, it's a tough one. He was really good in the playoffs. He hasn't been good, you know, down the stretch. He's been injured. I'll give him a pass for that. Yeah. I think I would keep him because I think he's got more potential there, and if he can stay on the court, I think him and Trey actually can be a good combination. I know they have kind of clashed in the past there, but I think he's better than what he performed for down the stretch here. He can stretch up the floor. He's a good defender, you know, but yeah, what do you do? One of them has to go. They can't keep everybody there. And, you know, the GM there, Travis Schlenk, has talked about it last season. They sort of, you know, the only problem with going to the conference finals is, we're a great team. But he didn't really make the moves, and he knew that cost them going into this season. Gallinari, though, if you can get anything in return for his contract, I think you move on from him. DeLon Wright, I thought, was actually really good for them too in the playoffs, but he's a role player at this stage of the career, so they need another
star.
Yeah.
Some defense would help too, and that's where they were brutal this year. But they're going to look at their guys that were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year when they were all healthy: Trae, Bogey, Huerter, Collins, and Capella. They barely played at all this year together because of injuries. I guess the record is they were 8-1 when those guys were all there. I mean, I don't know who they were playing and all that stuff, but can you convince yourself, hey, I mean, it worked for a conference finals run. It worked in the regular season when everybody was healthy. Can we do it? You're shaking your head. You don't believe so.
One keeper on the Hawks, I think, right now. Trae Young. I think everybody else should be on the table. Travis Schlenk said in January, maybe it wasn't such a great idea to bring everybody back. That's on me. That's when the Hawks were obviously struggling out of the gate.
Yeah.
They weren't much better after the first start of the season. So I don't know. You've got all these contracts now that are kind of mid-range contracts. Collins, $23.5 million. Gallo, $21.5 million. Huerter, $14.5 million. Bogey, $18 million. Capella, $19 million. Put any of those together like Legos. Figure out exactly what the other team is going to be interested in, and get somebody to help with Trae Young, because you need a secondary playmaker. Bogdanovic is not the guy. Like, we all want him to be the FIBA Bogdanovic. It is not going to happen.
Yeah, there's the flash every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
He's a nice third guy, maybe. So I don't necessarily know that he's got to go, but maybe he's somebody that's interested. I just think they got to mix and match these things to get somebody else who can who can play alongside Trae Young, and then some athleticism would be good. I feel like the Hawks are a really slow team, and they should probably be playing a little bit faster. And they need somebody else who cares about defense, like Capella does, Okongwu does, and that's it, to be quite honest. So they've got a lot of changes coming, and if I were the Hawks, I would not be looking at the conference finals run and saying, we can get back there easily. I would be more along the lines of this season. The mentality wasn't there, and that's a bigger problem to me. So Hawks got a lot of things to figure out, I do think.
Yeah. Back to the Heat. Who would they rather play, Lily, in the second round, also known as the semifinals? The Sixers or the Raptors? Or do they care?
It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't really matter, because I think they've got a defender for Joel Embiid in Bam Adebayo.
Bam had his best game, I would say, last night, too. Yeah. And it wasn't even still elite in terms of shooting the ball, but 20, 11, and 4. I mean, he had done really nothing against the Hawks, incredibly, in this series, but hadn't had to.
Yeah, so I think in that sense, they don't fear Joel Embiid. I think the Raptors may be just a bit more of a crazy sort of line. You don't quite know what Nick Nurse is going to do, and the Hawks, the Raptors played Miami well well this season, if I remember, especially in Toronto there. So the Raptors are maybe a little bit more unpredictable, whereas the Sixers, if they get through, it's like, well, James Harden, I don't think he's going to really cause us too many problems here. We can stop him, cut him off like they did Trae Young. And then again, it's the Danny Greens, it's the Tobias Harris. It's like those guys I don't think the Heat are scared of at all. I think the Heat are a little bit more worried of like, man, what is Scotty Barnes? We don't quite get a grip on him. What about Pascal? What are these guys at their best? OG. They're a bit more of an unpredictable lineup. So I think they probably would take on...
You love the idea of Spoelstra with Philly, at least. Like, we know what they're going to do. So we can come up with the game plan on how to stop it. And, like, he's obviously one of the elite coaches in the game.
Yeah.
Whereas the Nurse and the Raptors are a bit more of a wild card.
Yeah.
Okay. But do you think there's some truth to that, or does it really ultimately matter in that they will be the favorites to beat either of these two teams?
Yeah, I think they should be heavy favorites against the Raptors and the Sixers. I lean towards probably the Heat would rather play the Raptors just because they're a shallow team and they're already banged up a little. They're going to struggle in the half court. That would be an ugly series. Raptors versus Heat, like sub 100 every game would not be a complete surprise for both teams. But the Sixers, I don't think should be scary to the Heat either. They held Joel Embiid to 24 points and 14 rebounds a game. That's good. 42% from the field. That's fine. But he was 30 and 12, 49% during the regular season. They at least know how to make him work for it. Harden hasn't looked good. And I mean, with Embiid already slowing down in the first round of the playoffs, in the second round, you would have to imagine that the Heat would just grind him. It would just completely make him work super hard and hopefully wear him out. You know that the Heat are going to be better conditioned than everybody on the Sixers. So I think they got to be the heavy favorites against either matchup in the second round.
Yeah, I guess the Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry stuff.
I was just going to ask you that, yeah.
That's going to be a factor for sure. So they need to get those guys healthy, but they could get an extra day or two's rest here if the Raptors were to pull off the 6-game win tonight.
What'd you say? If?
It's tomorrow night, isn't it?
If, man.
Yeah.
Game 7's happening this weekend. You can lock that in.
Yeah.
You clear your schedule, okay?
I hope you're right.
What do you got? You got a birthday party to go to this weekend? Cancel it.
Well, it's my son's, so...
You like them even more than your son does, admit it. You love the grab bag you get.
What was I going to say? I forgot what. Lowry and that. So, but that's a thing for the Heat, as we've seen already. Whether the guys are playing or not, there's no excuses, and they've just got other parts to slot in there who know. And Trae Young, I didn't see it as a backhanded compliment. He said, they're not really great defenders, they're a system defense. I think he's right. I think in some ways he's right. I mean, they've got good defenders, but they're also like, everyone just understands what the defensive game plan is for guys, and they execute it so well. So that's the problem here for both the Raptors and the Sixers. It's like you need someone to be able to sort of break their defense, but there's not a lot of leaks in it, not a lot of holes there.
So you do think the Heat, but specifically like Kyle Lowry, is cheering for the Raptors on Thursday night against Philly.
Of course he is.
Oh, he's a Philly guy, though.
Oh, yeah, he's a former Raptor, though. I mean, Kyle would love more.
He wants more break, too, so he wants more of a bit.
He would love a series against the Raptors, though, more than the Sixers.
Ooh, wow.
Of course he would.
Yeah, so would Raptors fans.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, let's take our final break. When we come back, we got Tweet of the Night. Mm-hmm. And we'll look ahead to tonight's 2 games. Yes, only 2 games on tonight. It's going to be easy. Don't go anywhere. I got a trivia question for you guys.
Love trivia.
Very weird trivia when I think about it. But the question is, what are some things that keep getting better as you use them? I'm going to give you a hint, see if you can get it. Okay, so this one, you wear it on a motorcycle. What's something that keeps getting better the more you use it?
Leather jacket.
Leather jacket. It's good, right?
Right.
Okay. You use this in the kitchen and like flavor gets added to it.
Like a wok.
Not bad.
Like a wok, a cast iron skillet. I was looking for, but wok. Perfect. Final one. It's a product we love here on No Dunks.
Wedgies. Underwear.
You lie on it.
Bed.
Bowl and Branch sheets. Bowl and Branch sheets aren't just buttery, breathable, and comfortable. They get softer with every wash. It's crazy. And forget thread count. Stop talking about thread count like you think it matters. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Bowl and Branch gives you thread quality. Quality over count. Remember that.
That's like fouls. They don't have to be even. You just got to make the right call.
Doesn't matter how many threads your sheets have if they aren't the best threads possible. That sort of blew my mind. We're just taught like thread count. But when you think about it, like what's the quality of the thread count?
Pitch count's the same, isn't it, Tassie?
Yeah. I think
that's a good point. They're throwing less pitches, but they're throwing them harder. Yeah. Throwing better pitches.
That's good. I got some Bowl and Branch, and they weren't joking about them getting softer after each wash. We've used them a couple times now, and it's true. They're getting better and better the more we wash them. Bowl and Branch signature sheets come in 9 versatile colors in all sizes, from twin up to California King. Are you a California King, man?
I am a California
God, you're
King,
living
man.
life.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. You'll immediately feel the difference with these sheets. Best of all, Bowl and Branch gives you a 30-night risk-free trial with free shipping and returns on all orders. That's confidence, baby, confidence in a product right there. Get 15% off your first set of sheets when you use the promo code NODUNKS at bowlandbranch.com. That's Bowl and Branch. BOLLAND branch.com. Promo code NODUNKS.
Green Chef. Our next sponsor is
I
Green
screwed up,
Chef.
man. I
That's
didn't
all right.
start Bowl and Branch, yeah.
That's all right.
I had trivia, though.
4 out of 5 ain't
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, trivia. Green Chef fits perfectly with me because I'm the greenest chef there is. In fact, Danielle, my loving life partner, is signing up our little kids for cooking classes and asked if I wanted to take them too so I could learn some basics. But why take classes when you've got Green Chef? Because I made the Cajun blackened chicken and it was magnifique. Just followed the instructions and bang, like a Mike Breen shot. It was great. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. With dinners that work for you, not the other way around. Green Chef's options for every lifestyle are included in there. Keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean like me, and gluten-free. Whether you're looking for carb-conscious, gluten-free, plant-based, or calorie-conscious options, or you just want to have delicious, balanced dishes, Green Chef has flavorful, feel-good recipes that are sure to satisfy. If I don't have to make a meal, I just won't make it. I'll scrap to survive. Unfortunately, that's how I live. But
That's me too.
We call it scavenging in our house. But yes.
But now I've made a meal from HelloFresh and Green Chef because the instructions are right there. It's so simple, and I enjoyed both experiences. So it makes sense that Green Chef is owned by HelloFresh. And that means there is a wider array of meal plans to choose from. There really is something for everyone. Go to greenchef.com/NoDunks130 and use code NoDunks130 to get $130 off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/NoDunks130 and use code NoDunks130 to get $130 off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
All right, back in the Classic Factory. Start wrapping up today's show. We got a little tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Good news, everyone. New Jimmy GIF dropped.
Yeah.
Tweet of the night comes to us from the Miami Heat. Ever heard of them? Mm-hmm. Is this that Jimmy GIF y'all were asking for? Oh, we were all asking for it. Give us the Jimmy Hat Jimmy GIF, please. You heard of the pump fake party, but what about the hump fake party? Wow. Just another legendary addition to the Jimmy Butler GIF collection. I've got a little bit below the focused stare and the disagreeing saying psh, 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 psh. But I have it above blowing kisses to TJ Warren and about even with crumpling the stat sheet. We'll see how much it gets used in the future. This seems like a pretty niche meme to be all things considered.
Yeah. So wait, what's your favorite? What's your favorite?
My favorite is the one when he's on the Bulls on the sideline, like wearing some kind of blazer. And,
yeah,
like, cuts to him, he's like,
Oh yeah. That's
just
a good
staring
one.
there. Yeah. And then there's the one where it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm pretty high on the crumpling paper. Yeah. And then it's pretty good. That one I feel like you can go to a lot more.
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't care. Yeah. I disregard for what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm crumpling up and throwing it away.
Yeah.
You got
just trying to think. He had the one with Dwayne Wade, didn't he? Where he was trying to get the girl's phone number and Gabrielle Union was really pissed off at him for that, wasn't he? I think.
don't remember that one.
I seem to recall he was like he was making eye contact with some girl on the other side, and he was and he was like pointing to Dwayne Wade. I remember something like that. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear from everybody. Rank them your best and favorite Jimmy gifts. There you go. There's a clip for you.
Yeah, that's a great one. Let's slice it up. Mostly the stream team is talking about my pronunciation of the word GIF.
Oh, good.
Some of us say GIF, some of us say GIF. It doesn't matter.
Some of us spell it Ironman with a space, some of us don't. All right? Doesn't matter. Cal Ripken, obviously named the Iron Man, the nickname the Iron Man, they had a space in it.
I don't know, man.
But JD, now I'm really in my head about this. Were we calling guys or females, of course, that played a lot of consecutive games Iron Men or women because of Iron Man the Avenger? Like, is he... Obviously, he's indestructible, I guess, in a way. Is that the...
Only when he's wearing the suit, though.
Yeah, that's what I can't figure out.
Maybe it's Black Sabbath Iron Man, you know?
Oh, jeez. I hadn't even thought about that.
I don't know.
All right.
Man made of iron, I guess.
What do you think?
One word or two.
No, just about everything.
I'm just trying to find my Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade gif.
Okay. You're busy.
Can't find it. I know it's out there.
Imagine
No, because he was sort of pointing to a girl and he goes, "I've got a friend," sort of thing like that. It was
he was saying he has a friend like I got Wade
like
here.
a wingman. Yeah.
So we're going out after
Something like that. Yeah. Because it was young Jimmy when I guess he was on the Bulls. I mean, it had to have been when they were on the Bulls together. One season, which was what, 2017 or something.
And then Union has since.
No, well, yes, straight away she was kind of like,
Oh, what's going on?
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
But then didn't Jimmy write something on one of Gabrielle's Instagrams and Wade got pissed off with Jimmy Butler? It's
I don't know, man.
I
don't know.
remember.
You're really in deep into this stuff. Yeah.
Want to talk history? Here's a fact for you, Skeets.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a fact, but it's on the internet. Merriam-Webster says the first known use of Iron Man, 1846.
Wow.
Cal Ripken had just started playing that.
What's the reason, I wonder?
I don't know. I mean, they
guy
probably had just invented iron at that time. I don't know. That guy's made of iron.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll do some research on that. Okay, let's look at tonight's games. Only two on because we got Survivor on as well. Join us for tomorrow's No Buffs episode. We'll be breaking down tonight's hopefully juicy episode of Survivor. But this is great. Oh, hey, Probst! He's the nightcap, I guess. Well, we'll save it for the nightcap because we got Bulls Bucks starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. Bucks will try and close out that series in 5, and then we got the Warriors trying to do the old gentleman sweep, trying to close out that series in 5. And to me, I just want to point this out again: a gentleman sweep is only when you win the first 3 games, and then as a gentleman give up the 4th game and then win the 5th game. Because I see it get thrown around like. People are going to say, if the Bucks win tonight, it was a gentleman's sweep. Right? I disagree with that.
Not a douchey, though, either. What is this?
No, it's a series.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's simply a series.
Day 1 and 5. Not everything needs a name. But, yeah, what do you think
Warriors
about
Nuggets, though?
Warriors Nuggets.
That could be a gentleman's sweep.
Absolutely. I mean, people are saying we're going to need to figure out what we're calling when the Raptors sweep the Sixers coming back from 3-0. Mm-hmm. Because that's the
reverse sweep or something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be something there, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that when it happens. That's for Monday's show. But tonight's games, what do you think?
You like to stand up for Raptors games.
I do indeed.
I love to stand for a 4th quarter
of
a Bulls game, but tonight I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to put on a tuxedo and play the violin.
Oh.
It's been an honor, Chicago Bulls, as I go down with the ship Titanic.
I see. You don't like their chances.
I don't like their chances. No Levine, no Caruso. DeRozan hasn't been great. Maybe it's Kobe White's time. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. As for Nuggets Warriors, blowsy outsy. I think this is going to be a big time game for the Warriors. It seems like Steph Curry's going to start. They're back in the Chase Center. A little bit of Coronation Street, I do believe.
Okay, well, Lee, you called it last night. You said all 3 home teams are going to win. What's happening tonight? Same thing?
Yeah.
You got Bucks closing out the series, and you got the Warriors closing out the series.
Pretty much. The Nuggets are more of a chance than the Bulls tonight, but I don't think. I think as well the Nuggets are like, we didn't get swept. We'll give it a go here, but Warriors are looking at the Grizzlies and Soda series and thinking like, get some rest in here, guys. We might be on the road, we might not be. We'll see what happens, but Warriors want to take care of business.
Okay. So if we have 2 blowouts tonight, that really means we're going to need your questions for tomorrow's show.
Get them in.
Send them in to nodunks@theathletic.com. Maybe we'll hit the beach if they're blowouts. If they're, look, they could be competitive games. Who knows? Maybe some miraculous things happen from the Bulls, on the Nuggets, and they extend the series. We'll find out. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok @NoDunksInc. Get yourself an athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks. Get yourself some NoDunks merch. Go to nodunks.com. We got 3 tees for $60 right now. It's like a buy two, get one free there with these 3 new styles that we dropped last week. I think this code that you see on your screen, No Dunks 3, for those 3 shirts, if you want all 3 at once, is good up until Friday, I believe. I'll have to check with Breaking Tea, but I'm sure you got a couple days left to still use that code. And back to Propes there, JD. I guess that's the pivotal game you'll be watching tonight in the association.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Pumped. Absolutely pumped for it.
You think we're getting a good episode tonight? Because
we got a double elimination. We got 2 people leaving tonight, so joining the jury. It's very exciting. Great time to get in,
Great
guys.
time to get in. Great time to listen to the No Buffs podcast or join us on the YouTube show. That's got its own separate feed. We'll be doing that tomorrow. Hey, later today, we might rip some packs. Top Shot Hot Boys. Why not?
Tear them open.
Yeah, we'll do that. So keep an eye out for that on the No Dunks YouTube feed. Any final thoughts, Lily?
Basketball is back.
Well, it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it did.
There's less basketball tonight than there has been the past 2.5 weeks.
but playoffs are back. You know, we're back into it.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
It's been great. Just enjoy it.
All right, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, the song Ironman was composed by bassist and lyricist Geezer Butler.
Embrace the day, people.